Man attracts what he is. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you, not to go after them or think they flee away. So observe your inner talking and remember your aim. Do they match? Does your inner talking match what you would say audibly had you achieved your goal? The individual's inner speech and actions attract the conditions of his life. Through uncritical self observation of your inner talking, you find where you are in your inner world, and where you are in your inner world is what you are in your outer world. You put on the new man whenever ideals and inner speech match. In this way alone can a new man be born. Now, this is from one of my favorite books from Neville Goddard called The Power of Awareness. But you want to get it with this red band because it also includes the book Awakened Imagination. Now, let's really pay attention to what Neville Goddard is saying here. He's saying that you attract what you are, and the art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you, not to go after them or think they flee away. So, when I read things like this, I'm going to give you an insight into how I study it. I always put my goal with it. So, if my goal is more money, I will read it this way: Man attracts what he is. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of having more money and let more money come to you, not to go after more money or think that more money flees away. That's very powerful because what do most people do? They're desperate. They're always running after money. They're always chasing after it. If we do that, money's going to keep running away. Now he says, observe your inner talking and remember your aim. In other words, observe your inner talking and remember your goal. Okay, so inner talking is that mental conversation that you're having with yourself every single second that you're awake. The only time you're not doing it is when you're asleep, because that gives your conscious mind time to rest. So think about that inner voice that you have. Everyone has it. And then remember your goal. Do they match? Does your inner talking match what you would say out loud if you'd already achieved your goal? So let's say your goal is to, make £35,000 in a single month. Okay. If that is your goal, then you've got to get your mental conversations to match it. So if your mental conversation is, oh, I can't wait to make £35,000 in a month, if you'd already earned £35,000 in a month, you wouldn't have that mental conversation, would you? No, you would have the mental conversation of, wow, it feels so amazing now that I've actually made £35,000 in a single month. So you really want to study deeply and start to understand what Neville Goddard is saying in this chapter. The chapter is called Coin of Heaven, by the way. So he's saying, does your inner talking match what you would say out loud if you'd achieved your goal? So think about your goal right now, and then think about going to your partner after you've achieved it and telling them about it. What would you say? You'd probably say something like, I actually did it. I earned this amount of money. I got this job. I found the deposit for the house. You wouldn't say, I want the deposit for the house. I want the job, because it's already done. So what you would say out loud if you'd already achieved your goal, you've got to make your inner conversations match that. And once you do, every thought that you have is a frequency. So if you're thinking, I am so happy and grateful now that I have achieved, that thought sends off a vibrational frequency, and then you start to attract everything to you. And that is why Neville Goddard is saying that the art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you, because we are magnets. So once we're in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, all Neville means by that is, if you'd achieved your goal already, how would you feel? When you ask yourself that question, you instantly get a feeling within your body. Well, you want to sustain that feeling. You want to hold that feeling within inside of you, and then you're going to attract everything that you need. So my action step for you would be to think about your goal, get a pen and paper, and write down, if I'd already achieved this goal, what would I say to my friends out loud? And then write down what you would say out loud. Then you want to start practicing before you go to bed, saying that within inside of you, within that inner talking, within that mental conversation. And if you sustain those thoughts, remember, every thought causes a feeling. It's the law of cause and effect. The thought is the cause, the feeling is the effect. So if you keep having mental conversations as if you'd already achieved your goal, even though it's not true in the outside world, if you persist in that assumption, it's going to harden into fat. Make sure you do the action step. If you feel 100% confident that you can go out and manifest your goals on your own, go ahead and do it. But if you don't feel 100% confident, that is what I'm here for. I've been mentored by one of the best teachers in the world, Bob Proctor, and I'm now top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants worldwide. If you would like my help, if you would like to learn more about my mentorships and to see if it's a right fit for you, then go to the link in the description and book a one-to-one call with me now.